the other reason why I've chosen money as a topic is because there is a lot of distortion around money. Money has been used for thousands of years as the greatest form of control. As divine beings, as bearers of consciousness, we have forgotten how powerful we are and how much of a creator we are, and have become enslaved by limiting thoughts and codes and patterns in a controlling way. We've been controlled to the point where we've forgotten that everything is energy, and that even the tiniest thought that we can think is a little packet or a little parcel of energy that shifts the energy of the entire universe. So these limitations that we hold around money are reflections of the blocks that we hold to universal love and to universal energy. And until we don't understand the nature of money and the nature of abundance, we stay trapped and controlled. So it's my belief that learning how to manifest abundance, and money is just a small part of that, is why we are here. It's the purpose of us being here, to recognize that we are a creator and that the destiny of our lives is in our own hands, and to create and to co-create and to collaborate with universal energy so that we can be human beings and still hold that divine creative spark, so that we can have an experience of being both human and divine. So, like everything else that exists in the universe, money is an energy, and that energy is not just found in your bank, is not just found in the money that you can hold and touch. It's found everywhere. It's ever present. Money is a goddess, and this energy of money represents our ability to be a co-creator, to co-collaborate with others, to connect, and to share and exchange. So money is merely a system that allows us to connect. And the acquisition of money, or the lack of money, or the abundance of money, really represents how connected you are to life, how connected you are to the universe. And the more space that you can create inside you for this universal energy to flow will be reflected directly in the amount of money that you have. And this is why this is such a useful topic and something that we should all master. Now, to be successful financially or to be abundant doesn't mean that you need to have a certain amount of money in the bank. All it means is that the money that you own allows you to be whoever you want to, whenever and wherever you want to. When the amount of money that you have allows you to be free, then you have landed into the energy of abundance. And so it's not necessarily a certain figure that you need to hold. It's the amount of freedom that it allows you that really is the reflection of how expansive and abundant you are internally, how open you are to the flow of energy through you, to the flow of the divine through you. And so the next hour or so will be explaining all the different concepts that are necessary for you to understand to align with money in a way where you're not constantly striving, killing yourself over money, sacrificing your life, limiting what it is that you want to do, and instead tuning into this infinite pool of abundance, which is there for you to experience. Now, the scientist in me many years ago would have perhaps ignored what I'm about to share with you, seeing as it would have made me feel at the time as though these were sort of pie in the sky concepts, that there was no way they were realistic. But quantum science teaches us and shows us that reality is an illusion. What you see in front of you, the physical things and objects around you, were all thought forms, energies that gained momentum until they became a physical object. Every single thing that you see around you was an idea, something that was not in reality, that then became reality through a process. And so we really should tune into the quantum reality of life, which is the only reality that operates through a science and a natural law, a law of attraction, a law of co-creation. And it's my promise to you that if you go through all of these steps with an open mind and you commit to this process, you will start to witness not only the alignment of your energy with money and the acquisition of money, you will also tune into that energy of the universal love that is present there for you. You will tune into the eternal nature of life and God and spirit. And that really is the only realistic and eternal reality that I have now come to recognize and realize. So your thoughts on money may be challenged a little bit during this process, because I'm going to ask you to think outside of the box, to think differently, to give it a shot, give it a chance, and commit yourself a little bit, take a leap of faith into this process. Another really important thing that I've learnt in my life is that knowing something is not enough. It's definitely the starting point to manifestation. It's definitely the starting point to doing anything. But the application of what you know, the consistency, is really what pays off. So let's get stuck in. And as I say, the written process is also available for you to look at and refer to on my website. So part one, which is about understanding the essence of money. Money transcends its physical form. It isn't just the gold, the silver, the figures on your bank account. It is a manifestation of universal abundance. And universal abundance is an eternal force of love and support that has been there since the beginning of time. From the dawn of time, money and the energy of money and the energy of that support has flowed abundantly, always present and ever supportive of our dreams. So the idea that there is a shortage of money is incorrect, because money fundamentally is an energy that has been present, that supports those who know how to work with the laws of the universe. It supports those who know what they want to do with money. And I hear of stories every single day and have witnessed by myself, for myself, money coming in from unexpected places once you're in alignment with your desires. Once you're in alignment with who you truly are, money can crop up from anywhere, which again defies the laws of science. But you have to believe it to really see it and recognize the eternal nature of life. Like all forms of energy, money carries the essence of the universe, which is ready to co-create with us in our journey of expansion and growth. By recognizing money as a divine energy, we can tap into its infinite potential and manifest wealth effortlessly. So the belief that money only comes when you sacrifice your life or work incredibly, incredibly hard with no play is again a myth. Money is the physical or digital representation of an energy that has created the world. All forms of physical money, they represent a greater energy. And without that energy, there would be no life at all. The energy of money in its purest form is the energy of the permanent and eternal love of the universe for you, that wants to see you flourish like all other aspects of nature. It is the love that wants to see you prosper, and it has been there since the initial point of creation. And as I say, without that energy of support, that universal support, there would be no life at all. So it is the same energy that allows nature to blossom, the abundance of nature, the infinite creations, all of the beautiful species that you see. They grow and expand as a result of this abundance energy. And so nature, the universe, or God wants to see you flourish like all other aspects of nature. It wants to see you expand. And expansion is really the main consistent activity of the universe since the beginning of time. We can measure expansion. We can see that the universe is constantly expanding. And so being an integral part of the universe, being an integral part of nature, nature wants you to flourish. It's in nature's best interest and aligned with the intention of nature for you to flourish and grow and expand. So expansion and contraction are really what abundance is about. When you're in an alignment with abundance, you are expanded and in alignment with nature. When you are in contraction internally, you are contracted and you prevent the flow of nature through your body. And so the energy that expands the universe is the same energy of abundance. That is always, always, always present and available to you, regardless of what you may think about the accessibility or the shortage of money. So the first step, the very first step, to creating more wealth in your life is to understand this, to understand exactly what money is and where it stems from, and how money is this energy predominantly, as is everything else in the universe, and to recognize it as an eternal force that is always present. No matter what you see on the TV, no matter what you believe, there is absolutely no shortage, and there never will be. And in order for you to really align with money and reap the rewards of this process, you must give yourself an opportunity to believe this. And then that's when the magic happens. That's when the universe reveals itself to you. So this is step one, recognizing that the energy of money can never be diminished. It wants to see your dreams come true. And I want to remind you that yes, you can absolutely have it all. As long as there is life, abundance and love, and your desires will always be there. You must believe this truth that you can have it all and set aside all other beliefs to witness the magic, to witness the alignment, to witness the divine working through you magically and miraculously. Miracles happen every single day. The fact that you're here is a miracle. When we think about an oak tree, how does an oak tree, a huge oak tree, grow from a tiny, tiny little acorn? How is that logically explainable? And the reason for that is that there is life force. There's this miraculous life force inside the acorn that, when given the right circumstances, grows into this huge tree. And that life force is also within you. And the only real difference is that you are far more powerful in your co-creative abilities. And so that leads me on to part two, which is about your relationship with money and how to cultivate a positive relationship with money. So if you were anything like me, you built resentment towards money. You may have felt as though money was never there for you. You may have had a distorted view of money and maybe blamed money for a lot of your problems. But really, our relationship with money and our relationship with abundance is a reflection of the beliefs that we hold around this universal energy, around life as a whole. And just as in any relationship, our connection with money requires nurturing and it requires respect. If your wallet is full of crumpled up notes or coins that are just here, there, and everywhere, or if you spend money frivolously, that is a reflection of your relationship with money and how you feel about it. And of course, how you feel about something, what you believe about something, is what will be reflected to you in your reality. But by treating money with love and appreciation, we can align ourselves with the energy of abundance and open the floodgates to prosperity. So this part is about reflecting on your attitude towards money and to strive to cultivate a positive and harmonious relationship with this divine energy, like you would with somebody that you loved or were in a relationship with. If you treat a partner as though they are never good enough for you or they're never enough, that's not going to create a foundation for you to have a harmonious relationship. And this is exactly the same as what happens when you relate to money in a distorted way. And if money was a loving, doting partner, how would they actually feel about you? How would money feel about you if you were in a relationship with them? Just ask yourself this question. It's also very useful to have a diary and to journal your thoughts. And I'll show you mine. This is my diary that I own, and this is my manifestation diary. And on the first page of the diary, you will see that I have placed a £20 note. Now, I'd like you to do the same, to grab some money and to feel into the energy of money from a different vantage point, from the perspective of seeing it as universal love and universal support, as an energy that wants to see you flourish. So having a diary to manifest your desires is really important. So going back to your relationship with money, you want to ask yourself the following questions. Would money feel like you neglect it if you were in a relationship with it? Would it feel neglected by you? Would it feel appreciated by you, or would it feel as though you only go to money when you need it, and when you don't need it, you treat it with disrespect? Would money feel that you are angry with it and that it is never enough for you? And if this was somebody that you were in a relationship with, how would they feel? Would money feel like you only appreciate it when you're desperate for it? Would money feel like you use it carelessly or disrespectfully? Do you spend money frivolously, or are you careful about where you spend money? Do you waste money? This is an indicator of your relationship with money. And if money was your partner, would it feel loved and appreciated by you? Now, this is where to get really honest with yourself about your attitude and your relationship to money. And ask yourself these questions and explore the feelings that come up when we think about money as a whole. You may even feel some guilt, like I did, around how you were treating this sacred goddess, this sacred energy that only wants to see you flourish. And that can allow you to change your perspective on money. If you are angry at money, really you are angry at this energy that wants to support you. And that means you're angry at life as a whole. If you feel you have to sacrifice your life for money, you would also feel like you need to sacrifice your life to receive this universal love or love as a whole. So your attitude towards money is also your attitude towards life and the loving energy support that comes from the universe. If you reject money, you're also rejecting life. So this is why they're both linked together. The energy of abundance and the energy of universal love are both one and the same. How you feel about one is how you feel about the other. How you feel about money is how you feel about life and the love of God. You have to harmonize one to harmonize the other, and vice versa. So now this leads me on to the third part, part 3, which is about channeling money and money needing containers for manifestation. So if you imagine that money is this energy that comes from the point of creation, from source, and trickles through the entire fabric of nature and infiltrates all aspects of nature, wherever it's given freedom to flow, it will blossom. Then it gives you an idea of why money needs for you to specify specific areas for the money, the energy to be channeled to. If money is passing through your body and you do the work to allow that flow through your body, then the money will need to know what you need it for. It will need specific containers for it to be passed through to. Quite often I work with people who say, I just want lots of money. I just want lots of money, but they don't know why they want it. And so manifesting money really does require clarity. And those that really want money and don't know specifically what they want it for, they don't really get the money. But by defining your desires with precision and detail, we create clear containers for the energy of abundance to flow into. And I'll show you some of my old containers. So I would draw out specifically what I wanted to channel the energy of money towards. That is a dialogue that you end up having with the universe, who, when you ask it, will deliver. But you need to know exactly what you want the money for. And so you need to be able to visualize your dreams, engage your senses, and refine your vision. Every few days, I will tweak and adjust and refine my containers until it feels right. And so you can ask for what it is that you want. When we are crystal clear about what it is that we want, the universe responds accordingly. But it's not enough to simply desire wealth. We must define exactly what wealth means to us and how we intend to use it to serve not only our highest good, but the greater good of all. You need to also be able to have a global vision, to expand beyond your immediate desires and to continue expanding them until you get to a place where you can accumulate wealth for the greatest good of all. So throughout history, not a single person has succeeded in manifesting and keeping money. There's one thing to make money, and it's another thing to keep money, as I've learned. Not a single person has succeeded in this without a precise understanding and clarity around what it is that they want. Whilst many people will be able to articulate what they don't want. Now, I don't like this about my life. I don't like the shortage of money. I don't like how I can't go to on holiday whenever I want to. Many people will be able to tell you very quickly what they don't want, but there are very few that can specify what it is that they actually desire. And the energy of money really requires for this to happen. Without that, you will get stuck. The energy won't be able to flow. And so whether it be a house or anything else, get very clear down to the minutest detail. And sometimes people get stuck here because when they think about what it is that they want to manifest, they immediately come into contact with their inner critic, who will bring up quite naturally why this is unrealistic and why it will never happen. Now, your challenge is to give yourself that space to go through blue sky thinking, which is where you give yourself freedom to really dream and to quieten the voice of the ego that wants to keep you limited. And so that clarity, how does that house look? What does your front door look like? What does the carpet look like? What do the rooms in your house look like? What does the car look like? They're not necessarily there because they are going to get matched exactly and perfectly, but they're there to bring you into an energy that will do the attracting for you. And not only will you be able to manifest your desires, you will manifest even better than that as long as you are in alignment with that feeling. So, the specifics around your containers will allow you to feel an energy, which will then do the work for you. So the idea is not to get attached to the containers, but to know where you want it to go. Where do you want the energy to flow to? So for this, it's useful to take a pen, some paper, and to meticulously map out your desires. Visualize your vision clearly and observe any interference from your mind in the creative process, which is what it's designed to do. Engage your senses, see yourself in your vision, hear, smell, touch, taste. Get into that creative zone and regularly refine your vision. It's not something that will happen overnight, but practice will show you miracles. And take time doing this. I do this absolutely every single day. And the key is make your containers so vivid that when your desired reality materializes and manifests, it feels almost indistinguishable from your practiced vision. So, in other words, practice your dreams, dream your dreams awake, and practice seeing your vision so much that when it arrives, it doesn't even surprise you. And this can be applied to money, it can be applied to health, it can be applied to all sorts of things. It can also be applied to love. Many years ago, I wrote a list of all of the qualities and values that I wanted to experience in my love partner. And I'd forgotten about it. But when I found it a few years ago, every single point that I had made had been ticked by the universe. And there were even greater benefits. There were even more qualities that I hadn't even thought about that were in my partner Cash. So to create these visions is incredibly important. To get clear on your containers is incredibly important. And although this is related to money, as I say, you can also apply this to other aspects of your life. Love can be a little bit trickier because we have resistance to love. It's harder for us to love ourselves or to receive love or to be open to it. And so I have some additional tools that you can use to help bring yourself into that. But for the purposes of this call, we're talking about money containers. So I'd like you to regularly, deliberately breathe life into the containers and to embody the reality that you desire. So moving on to the next part. And this is about recognizing that your desires already exist. Your desires are not mere fantasies. They are glimpses of a future reality that is already there, waiting to be manifested. We often see time as quite linear, but the truth is, the past, the present, and the future, they all exist in the now. You can't actually put your hand on the future, and you can't put your hand on the past. They don't really exist. The effects of everything and the awareness of both of those only happen in the now. And so, what we're doing when we manifest and remember that our desires already exist is that we pull from this resource, this source of energy from the future and bring it into our present lives. So, by aligning with the energy of your desires and embracing their existence in the present, accelerates the manifestation process and brings your dreams to life. So your job is to become a time bender, to become a master of time, and to bring these realities into the now. And your soul is drawn to a reality that is perfect for you. So I often say, if you are not drawn to the idea of skydiving or bungee jumping, if that doesn't create desire in you, it means that reality doesn't exist for you. And so, whatever does create desire in you, that nudge from your soul, is an indicator of something that already exists in energetic and etheric form. Everything is energy. Every thought is energy. Every movement creates energy. Energy can never be destroyed and is not created. It stems from source. And so your job is to acknowledge the existence of these desires as an energetic form and align with them, to match your frequency to them by using your imagination to bridge the gap between the present moment and your desired future reality. And so it's about thinking about what it is that you really desire. The things in your life that you're not happy with is a good place to start, because it's very easy for people to know what they don't want, as I mentioned earlier, but you can use that to turn what you don't want into what it is that you do actually want. And maybe that's a car, or maybe that's a career or a promotion or a project or a holiday. But whatever the experience is that you're drawn to, your soul desires it because it already exists for you. So when it comes to aligning and attracting your future, bringing your future reality into the present, it's important to feel what it is that you want to experience. Can you feel as though you are already experiencing that thing, event, or manifestation in the now? What would it feel like to have it? How would it feel in your body? And who would it make you become as a person? Now, they say that if you can hold that feeling for 17 seconds, then that's a very strong signal that will basically invest into the manifestation of your desires. When I first started this process, I would allow myself to blue sky think and dream of my reality to the point where I would shake. I would shake because I was so excited by the idea of having that reality. And that was really a thought. My imagination, which, Einstein says imagination is more powerful than intelligence. I would witness a thought turning into a physical effect in my body. And that physical effect in the body will send out a ripple, which will create a physical reality for me, and is how the science of the universe works. So just let your dreams take over, even if it's for a moment. Give yourself permission to really do this part of the process. The next part is about changing and shifting limiting beliefs around money. So this is where you curate and change the energy in your body through the words that you speak so that you create a suitable and fitting and warm, welcoming home for this energy to expand into. And releasing the myths and limitations around money so that you can embrace the truth of what abundance is as this universal, loving, supportive energy. To change your mind from thinking scarcity to abundance, from fear to love, and to align with the energy of this unlimited eternal potential. So it's about reprogramming your beliefs and cultivating an abundance mindset. And a useful way to do this is to, on a mirror with a chalk pen or some chalk, write down some beliefs that you want to adopt. And they may look like money is always available to me, or that I am living my highest and best and most abundant life. And there are a few suggestions that I have made a note of and written down on my website. So some of the myths that we need to change in order to land into money are that there is a shortage of money. And as we discussed earlier, there is no shortage of money. That you have to work really hard and sacrifice your happiness for money, which is not true. That some people are more likely to make money because of their upbringing or background, and others aren't. And that's also a myth. That's not true. It's a myth to think that it's unrealistic to expect money. It's completely realistic to expect money when you're aligned with it. And the greatest myth of all, that you don't deserve money. An abundance mindset, abundance sounds a little more like this. Abundance and the energy of money can never run out, because at its core, money is the energy of love. It's what creates nature. And that you do deserve it as an integral part of nature. Also, money does not require for you to sacrifice your happiness or work till you drop dead. But money can come from inspired, fun, inspirational, and playful action. No one is more or less deserving than money. And the fact that you are here means that you have access to this morphogenic field of money that you can align with. So the fact that you're here and you have this ability to align automatically makes you deserving. All other beliefs are all imposed beliefs. They are effectively generational curses that have been passed down and forms of control that your purpose is to break through those. So limited money beliefs need to be curated out of you through regular healthy self-talk and repetition of this self-talk. An abundant mindset knows that there are an infinite number of ways to draw and get money. And that money can come from absolutely anywhere, not just a job, not just through work or any other form of investment. Money can come from anywhere. And when you think like that, money does start to come from anywhere. And not only have I witnessed that over and over again, so have thousands of people that have come before us. And so have all the people that have ever landed into true abundance and have tapped into this field of intelligence, this miracle energy that has been given to us by the universe, by God. And so that leads me on to the next part, part 6, which is about the morphogenic field of energy. And just to recap, we've been through what money actually is as a universal energy, as the energy of universal love and support. We've also looked at your relationship with money and how it would feel about how you treat it. We've looked at money needing containers so that the energy from source, this loving, supportive energy from source, can pass through your vessel and out in the direction that you want it to go. About recognizing how the energy of your desires already exists in the etheric form, and that your future already exists, and your job is to just bring it into the now. We talked about changing your money beliefs through repeated positive affirmations, through changing lack mentality, and creating a purer vessel for this energy to pass through. And now we're going to look at part 6, which is about the morphogenic field. So the morphogenic field is an energy field that already exists. And to tap into this, to tap into the collective consciousness of abundance, is what this next topic is about, and about how to draw energy from this field that already exists, from this field of millionaires. So by aligning your intentions with the energy of abundance, you harness that power of manifestation and accelerate your journey towards wealth and success. So you can see it as an infinitely large tank of water that you, through intention, open up and draw water from, or draw abundance from. And the more we align with that energy of abundance, that field of abundance that already exists, the more we amplify our ability to manifest wealth effortlessly. And that's when the miracles start to come in. And your field then connects with that field. And your field composes of all of the layers of energy that surround you. And this energy contains codes, the waveforms, frequencies. And what we're doing is we're connecting our field to that field that already exists through intention, through feeling. And a useful way to do this is to set up reminders on your phone. And I often ask my clients to do this, where I ask them to tune into that field, close their eyes, put their hand on their heart, and then tune into that field of abundance, that field of love, and to feel the expansion in the heart. And it's only when you really feel the expansion in your heart, because effectively abundance is expansion of energy, and the lack of abundance is contraction. And so when you feel that expansion, you know that you're aligning. And you want to kind of get into that feeling without getting too attached to the vision. When I first started doing this process, I would tune in every hour and allow myself to feel what it is that I wanted to feel. And remembering that the feeling, the emotion is the magnet. The mind, the containers, is the electric energy, which is what casts the intention out. But the feeling is what draws it back in. And when you feel this level of abundance, what you do is, in the quantum world, you collapse a wave into a particle. And that's when you start to recognize and see that manifestation come about. And I'll talk more about that a bit later on. So just a reminder that expansion leads to manifestation, and contraction leads to limitation. So if you are reading this on my website, you will know that we are now on to part 7, which is quite a fun part, and it's about interviewing your millionaire self. So the journey of manifestation has more to do with who you become rather than the manifestation itself. And so it's useful to remember that we come to this planet without anything, and we are going to leave without anything. And so our physical manifestations won't matter in the future. But the purpose of being able to manifest, and we're starting with money because everybody needs money, is so that you become that person that you want to be once the manifestation is in your life. And so visualizing your future self or your higher self, this successful and abundant being, and then interviewing them allows you to tune into the energy of being that, becoming that person, becoming the manifestation. So when you interview yourself like this, you're encouraged to embody the qualities and characteristics of your millionaire self and align your actions with that vision. And that's what manifests the reality. So this process of interviewing your future self allows you to step into the shoes of the person who you want to become and to gain insight into the path ahead. You're embodying that being and aligning with the vibration of abundance by doing that, because your body will then extend this energy of already having what you want, and that then is reflected. So it requires, on some level, for you to be a little bit deluded, to use your imagination, to be a dreamer, and to see yourself in this new reality. And like I said before, you want to practice this feeling of having what you want and seeing what you want until that point where when it arrives, you are not surprised. You want to feel into the emotional state of your future self. You want to feel into the emotional state of your millionaire self. And here are some questions that you can ask yourself, and these are on the website. So if you were to interview your millionaire self, you may want to ask them, tell us about yourself and your journey. What have you discovered? And what do you know about life for sure? What do you no longer worry about? And what do you get excited by now? How does your life look different now that you're a millionaire? What do you say yes to? And what do you say no to? How do you dress? How do you spend your time? What does your day look like? All of these questions, when you ask your future self these questions, they will allow you to align with that future part of yourself. How would you walk? How would you carry yourself? If you went to the shops, what would you buy? How would you interact with people? How would you interact with your family? How would you interact with the strangers down the street? They're the types of questions that allow you to embody this energy. Part 8 is about gratitude, about cultivating gratitude to expand your energy field. It catapults your intention, it catapults your desire to feel grateful. And there's 2 ways to feel grateful when it comes to the manifestation process. Now, what I want to really reinforce is how important gratitude is. It's not just a way of making yourself feel good. And of course, it will do that. I, for one, do not leave my bed in the mornings unless I have found 3 things to feel grateful for. And that sets my vibration and my tone at the beginning of the day. And then I don't have to worry about lifting my vibration too much. It's already lifted. And then the universe can meet me there. So it's not just about feeling good. It's the greatest energy tool and trick in the book. And it has an effect on expanding your aura and expanding your intentions. And the way to express gratitude is firstly for the things that money is already giving to you. How is money already showing up for you? It might be showing up for you by giving you a roof over your head. It might be showing up for you by giving you food every day. It might be showing up for you by giving you a car to drive. It might be showing up for you by um, you know, giving you the means to go on holiday. It might be showing up for you in lots of different ways, running water. And it's also by expressing gratitude for things that money can't buy. For example, the sunshine, for a beating heart, for your legs and your arms. There are so many things that you can feel grateful for in the now and for how money is showing up for you already. But also to express gratitude for what hasn't arrived yet, as though it already has. So, for instance, thank you for my £1 million house that allows me to feel safe, stable, and supported. Thank you for my healed injury that allows me to move freely. Thank you for a successful team meeting that gives me confidence and allows me to express myself authentically. This is something that I do if before a group call or a one-to-one coaching call. I set the intention. I set intentions for everything. I set intentions for my day. I set intentions for my meetings. I set intentions for problems, how they're going to resolve. To become more intentional is really important. And so gratitude is something that seals the energy and solidifies that before casting it out. The whole process needs to be sealed with gratitude. And these are scientific tools that you can use. These are, energy laws that you're tapping into. Part 9 is about becoming your higher self. And this relates to also embodying the energy of your future self, because your higher self and your future self are one. Now, in the same way that we can look back onto our past and create harmony with the past and look back at our past self and interact with our past self. And if you've ever done my abandonment release meditation, you'll know what I'm talking about. Abandonment is something that we store, which blocks abundance in our lives. It creates these areas of resistance where the flow can't flow freely through you. This process of releasing abandonment includes going back and releasing our resistance and our attachments to the past. So in the same way that we can do that and we can look back, our future self can also look back onto our present self. And so looking back at our present self from the perspective of the future self, our higher self, allows you to embody more of this energy. So you as your future self, what would you tell your present self right now about what's to come? What's the greatest reality for you? How do you look in your future self? How do you show up? Can you show up as your future self, as your higher self? And can we bring the wisdom of our higher self and our future self into the now? So embodying and being that person who is already abundant, having a future vision that pulls you to it, allows you to let go of the past. It allows you to not get attached to drama, not get attached to judgment and negativity, which is basically a waste of your energy. When your energy can be used to bring to life an avatar, a version of yourself that's already abundant, and to carry that with you in the way you walk, talk, speak, interact, visualize, and feel is the secret to manifesting money. And it works every time. So regularly reprogramming yourself to be that person and holding that future vision, your containers, is the winning combination. And what this actually does is it actually breaks patterns of being that have been passed down for generations, which are generational curses around money. Money is not the root of all evil. All money does is it allows you to be more of yourself. And breaking the curses around money allows you to feel freer and more expanded within, and to recognize your ability to create your own destiny, to create your own life, to turn thoughts into things, to use quantum law, which is the realist reality, which is the most accurate version of reality, the most predictable and most consistent version of reality. It allows us to use that with the law of nature, with God, with Source, to bring that divine energy through you and into your manifestations. You are an aspect of God, and you do have this creative potential. And so, to conclude today, I just want to remind you that you hold the power. You hold that power to manifest. You just haven't exercised it enough if you're not experiencing what you want to. And by aligning with this energy, by aligning with universal abundance and seeing it for what it actually is, and nurturing a positive relationship with money, you can unlock the secrets of manifestation. You can witness the miracles that life has for you, that life is. And this process is a tried and tested process. If you can go through these steps, journal, and keep those energies alive, you will start to see signs of your manifestations. Initially, you might start to see some synchronicities. You might land into a few extra pounds or dollars of money. But these are just signs that your manifestation is building momentum. So watch out for the signs between when you start doing this process and when the manifestation arrives. They are positive indicators of your alignment. You can apply this process to love, and you can apply this process to finding the love of your life. It's a little bit trickier to do that because, like I said, there's more resistance. And if you're really ready to move on to another level, to go higher up, then I would recommend downloading my 5-part pre-recorded step-by-step ascension process, which allows you to not only connect with love, but also to connect with the divine and to become whoever it is that you've come here to be, to find your purpose, to go deeper into this process of manifestation. And so you can find details of that on my website, and I would recommend it to everybody. I recommend this to absolutely every single person because it has proven to change people's lives so drastically, and to align people with the real reason why they're here, to find who they are. I really hope this manifestation process has served you and served in your understanding of energy, and to help you to really understand and gain clarity on what abundance is. I've got lots of useful tools on my website, lots of meditations that you can look at that help you come into the energy. But in and of itself, if you stick to these 10 steps and you practice them every single day, you will find that money and the divine will make themselves known to you. You will remember how powerful you actually are, and you will be able to apply this process to any other manifestations that you want. And of course, there are tons of useful tools and my really, really special Ascension program on my website. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm wishing you all of the abundance in the world. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side of your manifestations. Lots of love and take care.